There are 4 basic ways of setting up job and role definitions in order to capture the skills we need. The first and most common is the quick setup method. This makes use of some predefined job definition templates or your own previously defined jobs, from which you can build new job definitions. Option 2, the standard definer, is designed to allow someone with minimal Sophia knowledge to be able to define a Sophia-based job or role definition from scratch using a comprehensive survey similar to the self-assessment surveys, so suitable for team leaders and managers who are not Sophia experts. The third expert definer option is designed for someone with good Sophia knowledge and understanding and uses a very short click and tick style survey to set up a job definition from scratch. The fourth batch or bulk upload option is also designed for people with good Sophia knowledge and understanding and uses an upload template into which a batch of job definitions have been predefined and captured and then uploaded into the workspace. After having drafted the job definitions using the various options, there are a set of actions to refine them, to make them available, to make use of them, and to maintain them on an ongoing basis. So let's look at all of these actions in some detail. For practicality, I'm going to explain the 2 most common capture methods first, and then explain the refinement aspects. I'll explain the less commonly used capture methods of standard definer and expert definer last. To be honest, these are more legacy style methods, although still useful in some circumstances. The tasks for setting up job and role definitions can be found under the Skills We Need Jobs and Roles task group. The quick setup method. A set of sample job definitions are provided with the system. These are former real job definitions which have been drafted into Sophia-based definitions. These can be used as a basis from which to draft your own job definitions, examples of how job definitions can be translated into Sophia, and as a practice and learning mechanism on how to set up and manage job definitions. You can also simply copy one of your own previously defined job definitions and then use that as the template. The following are the basic steps. You will want to review the details of the job definitions to see which ones you'll want to make use of. You'll then need to load the suitable samples into your list of definitions or copy one of your previous definitions. You'll then want to change their name to suit your requirements. You'll then want to customize the skills and the details also to suit your requirements. The quick setup method begins with the job role management task. Use the View Sample Jobs button to have a look at what predefined sample jobs are available. Select the PDF icon of the jobs you're interested in looking at, and you can view these online or save them on your PC to review later. You can then select the ones you want and copy them into your list of job definitions, and then change their names to suit your requirements. Alternatively, you could use the copy option on a job you have set up previously, in which case you provide a new job name as part of the copy process. You also get a choice as to whether or not you want any attributes already assigned to the job you're copying from to be copied across to the new one. You then press the copy button and the page will refresh with the new job showing. Ensure to edit it and change its reference number later so you do not end up with duplicates. The batch bulk upload method. This method makes use of an upload template into which a batch of predefined job role definitions are captured and then uploaded into the system. This method is suitable for uploading a whole set of Sophia-based definitions that have been predefined simply and quickly. It generally requires a good knowledge and understanding of Sophia in order to predefine the definitions. And of course, once they have all been uploaded, they can be refined and enhanced using the definition editor. The following are the basic steps. Download the upload template from the system. Capture the predefined job definitions into the template. Upload the file with the captured job definitions into the system. You can then refine the definitions using editor as required. The batch bulk upload method also begins with the job role management task. You first use the download bulk template button to download the template and save a local copy for yourself. You then capture one or more predefined job definitions in the template and save it as a file ready for uploading. The help on the job role management task describes the latest template format and how to complete the job definitions. We do recommend you provide each job definition with a unique reference code. This will allow for future exports and bulk changes and uploads which use the reference for updating. You will need to choose the type of upload you want to use, with insert and update being the default. You then use the select files button to select your local job definition file and kick off the upload process. Provided the captured job definitions pass the validation tests, they will then be added to your list of job definitions. Having captured the definitions using one of the options, you can now finalize them and make them available for usage. I'll briefly explain the various steps here. They may not necessarily be conducted in the order shown here, and very often they may need to be revisited at a later stage. You kick off the job editing console from the job role management task. However, before you do that, you may just want to set the name of the person who's defining the job, which may be yourself. Use the edit link to open the editor in a new window. The job definition editing console runs in a separate window, and from there you can edit all the job definitions that have been made available. The job definition editor has very similar functionality to the SkillsTx planner, except for job definitions rather than a profile. You can edit all aspects of a job definition, including the ability to select skills attributes. You can edit the job classification data. Once again, I'll mention that we do recommend you provide each job definition with a unique reference code. This will allow for future exports and bulk changes and uploads which use the reference for updating. Once people have been assigned to a job or role, below the job classification you will be able to see the people who are affected by any changes that you make. To include additional skill attributes, you will need to go to the Configure Skill Attributes under the Setup and Management tasks. There you can associate new attributes with specific skills. By default, job definitions will not initially be available to people in the planner until they have been made visible. Once you are satisfied with the definition and wish to make them available, you will need to set the Who Can See This Job field from Nobody to the appropriate value. This visibility can be changed individually as just shown, or a group of definitions can be changed together, which will cause a screen refresh. The job role definition and candidate match reports can also be selected from this task. In job role management, there are a few other useful parameters you can set. You can set the language from the default English of its Sophia profile. You can select the number of full-time employees you expect to need for this job definition. This is especially useful for the risk analysis analytics. You can choose to make the job active or inactive. And if someone else is expected to be managing the job definition and keeping it up to date, then you can assign them as the owner. They can then maintain the job definition from their planner console, especially useful if the people are not administrators. You can add a job to a job family, and we will discuss job families shortly. If the delete option is showing, that means you can delete that job. If the delete option is not showing, it means that people have been assigned to that job. If you need to delete the job, you will first need to unassign them. Job role assignment is used for managing the assignment of people to jobs. There are some settings you should be aware of. You can control the access for people being able to select a current and future job from their planner. Setting the lock to yes will prevent them from being able to do so. So an example scenario might be lock their current jobs and have people's current jobs allocated for them to ensure consistency and a known state, and allow them to select their own future job. And it's in the job role assignment table that you can select people's current and future jobs for them. You are also able to assign people to jobs using a bulk upload method. You will need to first download the bulk upload template, then populate it as required, then select it and upload the template into the system. At a later stage, you'll also be able to export the full list, make changes and do bulk uploads to make it easier to manage job role assignments. The Job Roles Families task provides the ability to group jobs into job families and being able to use it for filtering in the analytics. Use the help on this task for further information. I'll now explain the last two capture options. The standard definer method. This method uses very structured surveys similar to the self-assessment surveys to define job and role definitions. This method is suitable for a way of transcribing current job definitions into Sophia-based definitions, providing the mechanisms for managers, team leaders and others with limited Sophia knowledge to be able to translate current or design new job definitions based on Sophia for their staff, as well as a learning mechanism for gaining a better understanding of Sophia. The following are the basic steps. Add the instances of the definitions by giving them a name. Assign the people who are to complete the surveys as standard definers. Use the standard email and tracking interfaces to initiate and track the surveys. You can then refine the definitions using Editor as required. The expert definer method. This method uses short, simple tick and click style surveys to define job role definitions. This method is suitable for a way of transcribing current job definitions into Sophia-based definitions. It generally requires a good knowledge and understanding of Sophia due to the very basic survey mechanisms. However, it can also be used as a quick mechanism for describing a basic job definition that can then be refined and enhanced using the definition editor, which is more comprehensive. The following are the basic steps. Add the instances of the definitions by giving them a name. Assign the people who are to complete the surveys as expert definers. Use the standard email and tracking interfaces to initiate and track the surveys. You can then refine the definitions using Editor as required. Both the standard and expert definer methods begin in the Create Job list and assign Definers task. You set up the new job by giving it a name and then pressing the Add button, which will add it to the Being Assessed list. You then select the person that's going to define each role and assign them as either a standard definer or an expert definer. You then use standard survey, invitation, email and tracking tasks to manage the job role definition surveys. And that concludes this tutorial. Note I have omitted specific details about many of the tasks. The details are all available via the console help, which is kept up to date.